Hello and welcome to another segment of Prebys on Music. As you can probably tell, we are on the eve of the 34th Annual University of Mary Jazz Festival. In a few hours, we'll be making some great music here. And it is my pleasure to have one of the greatest jazz vocalists in the world right here in Bismarck and right on the show. And this is a real high point. Lisa Henry, you are marvelous. I think you're fifth or sixth time in Bismarck.
Yes, yes. Good to be back. Good to be back.
You know, you say Lisa Henry in Bismarck, and everybody knows who you are.
That's so beautiful. I love this place.
Our producer was just telling us this morning that she was at Target, and some people at the checkout counter. Well, I'm going to see Lisa Henry. You know.
Yes, I love it.
And
it's great.
And you are an exceptional woman.
You're so kind. Thank you. Thank you.
As people will soon find out, a great jazz vocalist. I mean, you've got the touch that nobody else has. You know, you get in front of a tune, and it's a story.
I do my best.
I
try.
You always do. You know, when I listen to you sing, you're telling a story, and a tune comes alive. I mean, other people sing a tune, and you tell a story. How long did it take for you to develop that ability?
Well, you know, I got some good advice straight out of the gate when I first started doing jazz. And one of the things I was told is, remember that you're telling a story and you're acting to music. And I'm an old thespian from way back, so it made sense to me. So with any song, I try to really figure out what's the lyricist trying to say. What was he trying to get across when he put these words together like this? And I'm a visual person, so I certainly try to make sure the audience leaves with a visual of what the music was all about.
Not only do you tell a great story when you sing, but your whole persona embraces the tune. I mean, that's absolutely marvelous. Just watching you, you could almost mouth the words, and watching you, people would hear the story.
You know, I think part of that is just knowing that I get to do every day what I love to do. And I just don't see any reason to half-step with it. You know, people come to be entertained, and I always said if I got the opportunity, I would do whatever it took. And you know, it's a process. You know,
absolutely.
But I just said, you know, they're here for some joy, and I'm the joy bringer, one of them anyway. So let's bring on some joy.
Now, we're going to talk about the White House in a few minutes, but this weekend you're in Bismarck, and we are glad to have you, and you've been here a half dozen times, but you've been all over the world. Tell us about some of your concerts in far locales, you know.
Far locales. Let's see, South Africa, Southern and Eastern Africa, South America, Buenos Aires, Peru, Chile. And just recently, actually last week, just got back from my second tour of India. And that was a blast. That was a wonderful experience. And, you know, with each concert, with each thing that I do, I'm always amazed when I leave the United States how many people know jazz and are touched by the music. And it doesn't matter if we speak the same language. Just doesn't matter. They know about Charlie Parker. They know about Miles Davis. They know. And, you know, you get on stage and you just see these beautiful faces. one of the concerts that comes to mind for me is Calcutta. We were in Calcutta, and we did a concert in the very spot that Dizzy Gillespie played in Congo Square, and it was just the people. I think the venue held 500. We had like 2,000 people. Yeah, so people are, they're climbing the fence, and it's just it's a very organic experience, and they're rocking with me, and it's just I'm doing Every Day I Have the Blues, and they're singing along, and then you realize I'm in India. Every Day I Have the Blues travels to India, wow. And it's just it's a surreal experience. So if you would have told me 20 some odd years ago the music was going to take me all over the world, I might have been hesitant to believe that, but it's true. The music will take you all over the world, and the people love it.
So I've got to ask you, what is one of your favorite countries? I mean, they're all great, and it's just great to travel, but what's one of your favorites?
See, that's not fair.
Of course it's not.
It's not fair. They all have such a unique personality, and the people in all of the countries that I've been to, special people, faces that I'll never forget. India and I have a real interesting relationship. I get to India and I feel like I'm home, and it's a very interesting thing.
Now, if you just tuned in, Lisa comes from one of the greatest jazz cities in the world, and that's Kansas City.
I like my city.
And she just drips Kansas City.
I drip Kansas City. Whoa.
So why is Calcutta like Kansas City?
I don't know. People are, music just permeates through everybody's being. I've found that to be so. We got a chance to jam with a few musicians there, and it was phenomenal. We had a sitar player, and they were playing they were playing a lot of their native instruments, and so I think we just kind of jammed on a tune like C Jam Blues, da da da. It was just great, and
Duke Ellington on sitar.
Wow. on sitar. It's a trip. It's a real trip, and again, you sit there and you're like, I'm in India jamming with Indian musicians on C Jam Blues. Who knew?
Did you rehearse?
No, just did it.
It just came on?
It just did it, and it was a full improvisational smorgasbord. It was great. It was so great. And
so did the guy sit down in the lotus position and plays it?
Yeah, he just kind of heard the tune and fell in line with it. Just great ears. Wow. Oh, you haven't lived till you've heard C Jam Blues with sitar. You haven't lived. Nah. But definitely India. Africa is just an amazing place for me, for obvious reasons, but I do feel a real connection with Swaziland. Was a real deep place for me. Swaziland and Ethiopia. Those were two.
Because of the fatherland, or was it a musical connection?
In Ethiopia, I think I could say it was definitely a musical connection there. Swaziland, maybe sort of that motherland, fatherland thing. But it's beautiful because I got to meet so many different people, and Africa was the first place that opened my eyes to how amazing the world and the people in it are. I saw a Chinese African musician. Literally a Chinese. If you would have told me that there was any such being on this planet, I wouldn't have believed you. But I saw it with my own eyes, and so you get to see this melting pot of people that look so incredibly beautiful and exotic. And the further up you go along the eastern coast of Africa and you meet the musicians, they're just exquisite people from a spiritual standpoint and also just from a human standpoint. So there's still parts of Africa that I can't put into words that touch me that much.
And I realize you're very much a contemporary woman. The minute I said fatherland, I knew.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'll forgive you that time.
Okay. Well, let's cut away
Okay.
and let's treat the audience and let's listen to a little bit of Lisa Henry. I think you're going to enjoy this. Here we go.
All blues.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you just had the treat of a lifetime. You just heard Lisa Henry, what I consider, whom I consider to be one of the best vocalists of all time. Another splendid example of you laying it down.
I try to lay it down and get it back up again, you know.
And the amazing thing about the performance you just saw, you're killing me right now.
I know. Musician talk.
Is that we have two people from Kansas City, two people from New York,
Yeah.
two people from Bismark,
Yeah.
and a Mexican percussionist from Chicago.
That's right.
And we
Yeah.
put this whole thing together in about an hour, hour and a half.
Yep.
And it was just so much fun. And
yes.
and you were the hit. You were the star. Well, what I would like to talk a little bit about, and perhaps have you share with our audience, is you may not know this, but not long ago, about 2 months ago, Lisa performed at the White House. And that has got to be the epitome of a gig for a vocalist.
That is the gig. That is the gig. That was an incredible Cinderella jazz moment for me. The fact that it was the White House, that was, in and of itself, that was a big deal. But the fact that I was surrounded by all of these wonderful colleagues of mine that I've admired for years. Danilo Perez was there, Herbie Hancock, Wayne Shorter, Ron Carter, Terry Lynn Carrington,
Great drummer.
Yes.
Great drummer.
Nina Freelon, Anita Baker. And there's a moment where I'm sitting in my chair at the rehearsal and I'm thinking, I'm in the East Room, in a room full of everybody I've ever admired in my life. Wow. And it's just that wow feeling, and you're thinking, when will this happen again? Ever in life? So it was wonderful.
And you were just last night telling us about your great admiration for President Bush. And what a treat to be
He throws
able.
a good party now. He throws a good party.
That's what you said. That's what. So,
No, it was good. It was good.
What kind of audience was there?
It was an incredible audience. Goodness, let me tell you, some of the people who were there, Bruce Ludwall with Blue Note. Let's see here. Barbara Walters introduced me onto the stage.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I didn't tell you that part. Just a bunch of wonderful senators. Senator Ted Stevens from Alaska. A lot of senators, a lot of, just everybody who was anybody on Capitol Hill and who loved jazz and jazz supporters. Just amazing people were there.
So no doubt that you're probably going to be doing gigs in the near future in all these states from all these senators.
Oh, I certainly hope so. And if there's any senator listening, particularly the one from North Dakota, bring me back often.
Well, you and I will be doing this and probably beyond when we're in wheelchairs.
Good. I like that.
I've got to ask you, and I generally ask everybody on this show, and we're going to put you in the corner here.
Oh, boy. Okay.
We're going to go to the desert island, and we can only take 3 discs.
Only 3?
And we don't know how long we're going to be there. So it could be the rest of your life.
iPods?
3
compilation CDs?
Sank. Listen, don't mess with me. Just
Okay,
take
all
the
right.
3 CDs.
I'm going to take the 3 CDs.
Take
All right.
the 3 CDs. Okay. Tell us what they would be.
I gotta have Kinda Blue, Miles Davis. You just can't go on a desert island without that one. This is hard. Any CD with Ella Fitzgerald on it. Any CD with Ella. And I guess since you're only limiting me to 3, Sassy Swings the Tivoli, Sarah Vaughan. Yes, gotta take that one. Gotta take that one.
So I was surprised that you would say one instrumental.
Oh, yeah.
And I know in watching you sing, there's all the elements of Miles there. Breathy, the use of space, the understated, tone, all of those things. So I would have to say Miles might be one of your mentors.
Yeah, huh? Yeah. Listen to a lot of his horn lines, that's the challenge when you want to grow further as a singer. The only next progression is to listen to all of the instruments and start to try to mimic them through scat, and that's what really keeps my creative juices flowing.
Billie Holiday was one of the first to do that.
Yes, and I'd probably sneak that CD on as a 4th, but you wouldn't have seen that one. But yeah, definitely. I'm still trying to get all the lines of Freddie Freeloader. With all. I'm still working on that.
Absolutely.
Shadooba doo boo bee doo bee ba. Beeple doopy, shoo doopo dee da. See, I'm gonna get Freddie Freeloader, the whole thing, everybody's instrumental before I leave. Before I leave this planet.
And we just saw an example of Lisa, the bad girl. The bad girl, Lisa, because she's going to sneak a fourth CD in on that island. And, you know, with the way security is now, I don't think it's going to happen.
I'll have to put it in a little Ziploc baggie and, you know, take it through the security.
When we came in this morning, they checked our water container.
Oh, wow.
And just a couple of hours ago, the security pack descended on the poor delivery girl who was delivering pizzas for us to have lunch. So it's a whole different ball game.
It's a different world. It's a different world for a traveling musician. Yeah. It's different.
How many gigs did you do in China?
Oh, let's see. Haven't been to China yet. Looking forward to going to China.
Oh, you haven't done China
Haven't done China yet. But
in Australia, you probably have not done that.
I haven't done that one yet,
So
but
two continents.
looking forward to that. Matter of fact, it's funny you mentioned China because I had just spoken with someone last month about how we could tie something into China and the Olympics. So it may, or you know how this business is. It might happen. We'll see.
This group is available.
I know it.
You know.
I'm thinking they probably need us in China.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they probably need us.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Before we cut away here, food in India.
Oh yeah.
Interesting or lots of curry, huh?
Oh, curry. Love the curry. You know, and that's another thing I love about going to all these wonderful countries is being in a situation where you don't know what to expect and just throwing yourself into it. And it just so happens I am a curry girl, so India just. I can gain 50 pounds if I stay in India too long.
So it doesn't affect the vocal cords, huh?
No, actually, a lot of the spices open me up more. It's a very interesting thing. Yeah. Especially the hot stuff.
Really?
Opens up the cords. It's a very interesting thing.
Well, you know, we're going to have to hook up with Ruben and do a tour of Mexico.
Oh, yes.
That would be fun.
Oh, yes.
And,
Viva Mexico. Yes, we got to do that.
Yeah.
Got to do that.
Absolutely. Well, Lisa, you are one of my favorite jazz musicians, and I am so happy that you're here again in Bismarck.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here.
You have how many CDs out?
I have 3 going into 4, hopefully this summer, and I'm sold out. So I'm in the middle of a reprint. So it's a good problem to have, and hoping to do another live CD.
Oh, I have 2 of your CDs, and it's just always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Congratulations on a great career.
Thank you so much.
And we hope you will tune in next week for another segment of Prebys on Music. We'll see you then.